Mercedes teased an extensive car upgrade and decided to bring upgrades in a bid to boost performance, after a slow and sure understanding of the underperformance of the W13 car. With the continuing of their upgrading in France, the team launched its first images of their latest aerodynamic update. Is Mercedes preparing more improvements on their W13 to win the race before the summer break? Want to stay with us till the end of the video to know more about the upgrades that are just being revealed by Mercedes? If you're new to our channel, subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications of the latest sports updates. Let's get started, and we're going to reveal everything. It's true that Mercedes couldn't win the French Grand Prix with their car, but they're certainly looking for more competitive ones than in the last races. The upgrades that the team introduced in France brought the team closer to winning the race. A redesigned nose of the car has been brought to Paul Ricard, which appears to be a flatter one and could be focused on reducing drags, with the team known to be chasing a straight-line speed boost. Before allowing them to run on tracks, the FIA was already notified about the changes to the Mercedes that included front suspension, side pod vanes, floor, rear wings, and bib wing tweaks. Mercedes have upgraded to significant rounds and may have even more upgrades on their W13 floor up their sleeves. This floor has been modified several times, trying to reduce the porpoising issue. The team's technical staff doesn't intend to add new parts to the floor. However, there will be some general improvements, maybe some cuts and other changes to decrease the curvature of the edges. According to Toto Wolff, they can learn and have more understanding of the W13 with every lap. He's even more encouraged to see that reflection of success in their development. He even said, "While we were quicker in Austria, we still weren't quick enough to challenge at the front. We need to keep chasing those final few tenths and bringing new developments to the cars, including the weekend in France." Mercedes has added volumes to both the pushrod and the rear leg components on the suspension in the front, where they meet the chassis. When asked about this, the team gave their explanation for the reason for tweak inclusion. The reason was to downwash the flow locally on the side of the chassis, which will facilitate shedding, a vortex which then goes on to improve flow underneath the floor. The vanes on the side were also repositioned by Mercedes, which lie in front of the side pod. This, in turn, helps to increase the quality of the flow onto the duct of the radiator and deliver improved cooling performance. In the forward, it has an increased floor edge wing slot, as well as an increased chamber in the forward position. Both of these qualities will serve to lift the floor load forward. It should also be noted that they had a little change to their chamber to make the floor fence forward. This will, in turn, increase the load of the floor and will improve the flow to the diffuser. They've also focused on revising the bib wing to improve the quality of the flow. The W13 also focuses on reprofiling the rear wheel at the back of the car to reduce the chamber. It is extremely track-specific and targeted with reducing drag that prevents shedding a huge amount of downforce. George Russell was extremely optimistic about the new changes in Mercedes and hoped that it will bring enough changes to put Mercedes on par with its competitor, Red Bull. Recently, the smooth Silverstone venue has struggled a lot with its bumpy circuits terrains, but it's expected to play better to the way the team's best performance appears to be delivered when the car runs very close to the ground. Russell said, "I think this high-speed nature of Silverstone, a smoother surface, will play to our hand a bit than it's done in the previous 3 events." He also added, "But still, there's no guarantees, because as I've said before, every race we go to we're sort of unlocking a different issue from the car. But we have relative faith that this will be a more competitive weekend for us, not only just with the upgrades, but just with the nature of the circuit." He thinks that it could be reasonable to get closer than what they were in Austria, but honestly, he's not sure. He probably thinks that they're not going to be quicker than Red Bull and Ferrari. But if it happens to be an exceptional weekend, he hopes to be within 2 tenths, given the fact that everything goes right. But he would be shocked if they got closer than that. On the other hand, Lewis Hamilton at the French Grand Prix was also seen reaffirming his lost hopes of snatching his first victory of the season. With Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton has endured a poor first half of the season as compared to his standard of winning. The improvised pace in the recent races seems to bring back the long-lost energy of the team, and the smooth, fast, and flowing service of the Le Castellet Paul Ricard, similar to the Silverstone, is expected to play to their strengths. Initially, a disappointed Lewis Hamilton claimed the opinion that he would not be able to fight for a win this season. But it seems he reversed his opinion. He now believes that he has a chance, such as the Mercedes' upturn form. He was asked if he wanted to be on the hunt. He said, "I hope so. That's what we're all working towards. I'm working towards getting that win, and I do believe at some stage we'll be able to compete with these guys, whether that's this weekend or in 5 races' time. The journey is the important part." He added saying, "We started off not where we wanted to be. We've made progress, and we've started to hit a patch of consistency. When we do get back to where we deserve to be, I think we'll appreciate it that much more." Lewis Hamilton's victory this season will prove to be a milestone for his career, not only just to end his longest wait into an F1 season, but also because he would be the 6th driver to prove his tally of completing the 300th race. Michael Schmidt, the journalist for Formula 1, talked about the possible upgrades Mercedes will undergo to reduce car bouncing. Michael Schmidt also predicted that Silver Arrows would be making changes before each race during the remaining competition. He said that these improvements would be mainly made on the car's floor. He also added Star, the upcoming Hungarian Grand Prix, would be a big test for Mercedes to see if the upgrades the team has been introducing are effective, especially the car bouncing. It is real that the W13 hasn't seen the same porpoising issue at the beginning of this season. However, there's remaining bouncing bothering Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. The journalist added that if fixed, Mercedes will be able to win races after the summer break, as the porpoising is considered to be the team's major issue. He said, "They told me the Mercedes will now bring small upgrades every race. All these upgrades will be floor-related. Mercedes will take these upgrades to Budapest. That's the big test to see. If they've completely fixed the bouncing, if everything works there, Mercedes think that they can win races on their own in the second half of this season. Mercedes will probably settle for these upgrades before the race and won't be experimenting too much during the competition, especially after what happened with George Russell at the French Grand Prix qualifying session last weekend. The British driver wants satisfaction and declared that his team should stop experimenting and focus on getting more out of their W13. George Russell described what happened in the qualifying round as a lesson that his team should be considering. He said, "When you're so far off the pace, you want to try everything on your car to try to close the gap. And maybe that's the lesson for us, that we need to focus more on ourselves and focus on trying to get the most out of this car, rather than experimenting too much." Would these changes on the floor be sufficient to help George Russell and Lewis Hamilton to win this race? Will Lewis Hamilton continue his series at the Hungarian Grand Prix? What are your opinions about the new changes Mercedes is working on for the race this weekend? Do you think that Lewis Hamilton will be winning the Hungarian Grand Prix? We don't know what's going to happen, but you can express your opinions about the entire scenario in the comment section below. That's it, guys. We've come to the end of the video. If you liked our video and are a Formula 1 freak, you should definitely like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon for more information about the world of sports. Thanks for watching.